And July is National Hot Dog Month in Chicago. There's one important rule. That rule is never, ever, don't you ever put ketchup on a hot dog. Okay, if you're a little kid, we might make an exception. We have a guy who wrote the book on it called Never Put Ketchup on a Hot Dog, and you'll meet him in just a minute here. But first, let's take a bite out of some of his favorite digs for dogs. A fun place. Bob Schwartz is here. He wrote the book Never Put Ketchup on a Hot Dog. And Manolis, and I have to look at your name, Alpogianis. I get it right. There we go. Who's from America's Dog, where they have hot dogs from across the country. But I'm thrown by what you just told me. They have the only stand of those three I haven't been as, the one by Sox Park.
O'Malley's.
And what's it say at Maury O'Malley's?
Well, Maury O'Malley's, you got to get a hot dog and they'll put anything you want on it. But there is a can of ketchup with a label on there that says, "Let Cubs eat ketchup."
There you go. You never put ketchup on a hot dog. Now, I hear that you don't put ketchup on a hot dog because, in part because it tastes too much like a hot dog. It's kind of salty like a hot dog, and it's just not a good
well, it's a little too sweet and a little too acidic. And when you blend it with the other ingredients, especially to make that Chicago-style banquet on a bun, if you will, it loses its edge and takes away from the other condiments.
Now, Manolis, at America's Dog, you did all kinds of different dogs. Now, here in Chicago, I grew up on a simple hot dog, which was mustard, relish, onion, and sport peppers, and that's it. I mean, none of this other garden on a bun stuff we'll talk about in a second. But in other parts of the country, they have some strange toppings. Tell me one of the strangest you guys sell. You have 18 different kinds.
We have 18 different city dogs. One of the most unique dogs we have is a Tucson dog. So in Tucson, we went into a hot dog stand and had chorizo and melted cheese, a little bit of onions, and then fried tortilla strips on the hot dog, which is a wild combination, but really it tastes great.
That sounds great. That sounds wonderful. Now, you got to tell me, Bob, never put ketchup on a hot dog. I know that. Go to Jimmy's Hot Dogs at Grand Avenue there in Pulaski, and they wear shirts with the line through the ketchup bottle.
That's right.
Okay? And that's the hot dog I grew up on, Jimmy's Hot Dogs. But mustard, relish, onion, sport pepper, and that's all you have. I wasn't in college here in Chicago till I knew about hot dogs like this that have like tomatoes and pickles on top and all this. Tell me the difference here.
Well, they existed actually during the Depression. It was the banquet on a bun, places like Fluky's that began in 1929, and during the Depression kind of offered more condiments than that. Eventually, they was streamlined, and in order to be more efficient and the things that people wanted, pickles have been added since, and obviously even many restaurants use the nuclear green relish because it gives an interesting color profile to many
folks. So the
folks.
simple hot dogs start off like I grew up on, and then they added all this other stuff. Great book, by the way. Covers all different hot dog stands and the history of hot dogs in Chicago. Never Put Ketchup on a Hot Dog. We have Bob, who wrote the book here. Here's the book right here, Never Put Ketchup on a Hot Dog. Manolis is with us. We found these two guys out here. This is Steve and John. Steve Miller, right?
Yes, sir.
Saw you at Ravinia last year. Great show, by the way.
Summer's coming up. I
gotta tell you, that's great. And we have hot dogs for you guys. This is a hot dog with everything on them.
Grab one.
All right.
American dog. Very good.
American dog. And what do we never put on a hot dog?
Ketchup.
Absolutely right. Never put ketchup on a hot dog. Breakfast. A salute to everybody. Enjoy a hot dog. It's National Hot Dog Month. Back to you guys.